Director's commentary. Hey, do we want the director's commentary while we watch this? Just kidding, no we don't. I don't want it to give away anything. Top sad stats.
Dear Esther, I've lost track of how long I've been here and how many visits I have made overall. Certainly the landmarks are now so familiar to me that I have to remind myself to actually see the forms and shapes in front of me. I could stumble blind across these rocks, the edges of these precipices, without fear of missing my step and plummeting down to sea. Besides, I have always considered that if one is to fall, it is critical to keep one's eyes firmly open.
Oh, I can walk. Oh, okay. Wow, it's so beautiful. So there are 5 exam exercises that you practice. Okay, so that's handy. Do you like keep changing which one you focus on? Oh gosh, this field of vision. No, I don't like it. Oh, I like how it changes. I just don't want that weird curved in thing. I hate it. Ew. So you've got a plan to kick this exam's butt, is what I'm hearing. Hey, look, it's chemistry. Somebody else was studying here before, you know, they left. So your exam's on Tuesday? Insane. Okay. Ooh, let's go up here. Okay, I'll have to remember to wish you luck before that. And I also have to consider the fact that time zones exist. Oh, I can keep going. Oh, okay. It kind of looked like I couldn't keep going.
Donnelly reported the legend of the hermit, a holy man who sought solitude in its most pure form. Allegedly, he rode here from the mainland in a boat without a bottom, so all the creatures of the sea could rise at night to converse with him. How disappointed he must have been with their chatter. Perhaps now, when all that haunts the ocean is the rubbish dumped from the tankers, he'd find more peace. They say he threw his arms wide in a valley on the south side, and the cliff opened up to provide him shelter. They say he died of fever 116 years later. The shepherds left gifts for him at the mouth of the cave, but Donnelly records they never claimed to have seen him. I have visited the cave and I have left my gifts, but like them, I appear to be an unworthy subject of his solitude.
Whoa. Anyone know Morse code? Stopped. Is this game scary? Yes, my cookie. I fell. Don't litter. I mean, it's kind of creepy. The heck is this? Hey, look, I can get back up. Ooh.
When you were born, your mother told me a hush fell over the delivery room. A great red birthmark covered the left side of your face. No one knew what to say, so you cried to fill the vacuum. I always admired you for that you cried to fill whatever vacuum you found. I began to manufacture vacuums just to enable you to deploy your talent. The birthmark faded by the time you were 6 and had gone completely by the time we met, but your fascination with the empty and its cure remained.
Your fascination with the empty and its cure. Some of these rocks look like giant, like, clams or mussels. And,
Dear Esther,
I'm into that.
I found myself to be as featureless as this ocean, as shallow and unoccupied as this bay, a listless wreck without identification. My rocks are these bones, and a careful fence to keep the precipice at bay. Shot through me caves. My forehead a mount. This aerial will transmit into me so. All overexposed, the nervous system, where Donnelly's boots and yours and mine still trampled. I will carry a torch for you. I will leave it at the foot of my headstone. You will need it for the tunnels that carry me under.
We can go in the water. Cool. Ah! No, we can't. I lied. This is how we die. Bye, Rashi. Have fun relaxing. Enjoy your noms.
Come back.
We learned an important message. Don't go into the deep water. Okay, there's a pathway over here, though. We're gonna go back up the pathway. Wait. No, the pathway is over this way. My bad. Although part of me thinks that the pathway is just gonna lead to the part in the cliff where I couldn't go. Hey, what's this? Suspicious! What does it mean? I swear someone in Overwatch has the voice line. Like that. Look at all these pretty flowers! I'm glad this is a short game, because I'm worried that it's gonna make me sick. I was wrong. Good thing we went here. We walk so slowly. I feel like I walk faster than this. But baby, I'm just impatient.
Donnelly's book had not been taken out from the library since 1974. I decided it would never be missed as I slipped it under my coat and avoided the librarian's gaze on the way out. If the subject matter is obscure, the writer's literary style is even more so. It is not the text of a stable or trustworthy reporter. Perhaps it is fitting that my only companion in these last days should be a stolen book written by a dying man.
And we're listening to the letter of what sounds like a dying.
When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boats, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this, to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
Wonder why they fenced this part.
They were God-fearing people, those shepherds. There was no love in the relationship. Donnelly tells me that they had one Bible that was passed around in strict rotation. It was stolen by a visiting monk in 1776,
Jeez.
2 years before the island was abandoned altogether. In the interim, I wonder, did they assign chapter and verse to the stones and grasses, marking the geography with a superimposed significance that they could actually walk the Bible and inhabit its contradictions?
Hey, a boat! In the cave.
Dear Esther, I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
I don't know if I can get across to touch
I
the
find
butt.
myself increasingly unable to find that point
It
where
looks
the hermit
too
ends and Paul and I begin.
deep.
We are woven into a sodden blanket, stuffed into the bottom of a boat to stop the leak and hold back the ocean. My neck aches from staring up at the aerial. It mirrors the dull throb in my gut where I am sure I've begun to form another stone. In my dreams, it forms into a perfect representation of Lot's wife, head over her shoulder, staring along the motorway at the approaching traffic in a vacuum of fatalistic calm.
More? Yeah, what is that? So there's a circle right here, and then it branches out. Similar, and then there's a circle here, and there's a similar color kind of looking thing inside those circles. Is this count as touching the butt? Nah. Not actually sure what the story for this is so far. But I'm liking this music. Giving me some goosebumps.
He still maintains he wasn't drunk, but tired. I can't make the judgment or the distinction anymore. I was drunk when I landed here, and tired too. I walked up the cliff path in near darkness and camped in the bay where the trawler lies beached. It was only at dawn that I saw the bothy and decided to make my temporary lodgings there. I was expecting just the aerial and a transmitter stashed in a weatherproof box somewhere on the mount. It had an air of uneasy permanence to it. Like all the other buildings here, erosion seems to have evaded it completely.
What does it say? Hey, chemistry. Maybe they were an alchemist. Koopa, have you seen Full Metal Alchemist? Yeah. Sorry. Wow, blew dirt in my face. You have not. Change that. How do I get up here? No, it doesn't look like this is a place I get to go. Yeah, I can't go that way. I came from that way, I think. I feel like Fullmetal Alchemist is a really good anime for anybody who's like just learning about anime. Because you can watch it sub or dubbed and it's still good. I have no idea. Right away. Why don't we have a flashlight? It's so dark. Oh, well. Oh. Did I die?
Dear Esther,
No, I didn't.
I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my ordnance survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome brake services. But although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
Let's go touch the butt. Like lately, I wouldn't really like criticize dubs, but there were horror dubs weren't that great a while back. So, or rather, it was hard to find really good ones. Touch the butt. We get on the butt. Now that we've touched it, I want to see if we can get on. Yeah. Doesn't really look like it. Oh. has to tell boats to be careful. Apparently this boat was like, LOL, no.
There must be a hole in the bottom of the boat. How else could new hermits have arrived?
I haven't played this game before or seen it played. Oh, I can go up, but I also want to go this way. Well, let's see what's over here first, I guess.
I had kidney stones and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
Wait, what does that mean? You've been rendered opaque? Is Esther dead? Or is the person writing the letters dead? Ooh, what's down there? I think I can get there from here still. I don't know, I just feel like if someone says that you're opaque.
What charnel house lies at the foot of this abyss? How many dead shepherds could fill this hole?
Whee!
Come back.
Okay, so we can't jump down the hole. Thamer! 17 whole months. Thank you for the sub. You're wonderful. And I hope your day has been spectacular.
I've begun to climb, away from the sea and towards the center. It is a straight line to the summit, where the evening begins to coil around the aerial and squeeze the signals into early silence. The bothy squats against the mount to avoid the gaze of the aerial. I too will creep under the island like an animal and approach it from the northern shore.
What a weird way to say that. The clouds in this game. The sky is pretty.
The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either.
Aww. I think it would be cool to have a job as a shepherd. You get to hang out with your cool shepherd dog and... ooh, hey. More. And sheep, and there's probably not very many people, and that sounds great. Spending time with the dog is mostly the more interesting part to me, but I don't actually know, I don't think, fully what a shepherd does, so I might just, you know, be making up nonsense.
landfill. These false dawns waking into the still never light. I sweat for you in the small hours and wrap my blankets into a mass. I've always heard the waves break on these lost shores, always the gulls forgotten. I can lift this bottle to my ear, and all there ever is for me is this Hebridean music.
Jeez. What a beautiful picture. It does have a certain appeal to it compared to normal jobs today. I mean, I'm sure there's more to it than just hanging out with a dog, but... What a dream, though, right? I like this game purely because it's ocean and pretty sky. I'm not sure I know what the story is. Maybe I'll get it and it'll suddenly come together. I feel like this wind could like just toss me off of the cliff.
Footnote. The editor comments that at this point Donnelly was going insane as syphilis tore through his system like a drunk driver. He's not to be trusted. Many of his claims are unsubstantiated, and although he does paint a colourful picture, much of what he says may have been derived directly from his fever. But I've been here, and I know, as Donnelly did, that this place is always half imagined. Even the rocks and caves will shimmer and blur with the right eyes.
You can, see, watch. Yeah, I didn't even make it all the way down.
Come back.
And then when you die, he whispers, "Come back." But I don't know how high I'm allowed to fall. Because I've slid down in a couple of spots. Like here, I feel like I shouldn't die. So, I guess to some degree, I can't see where we just were. To some degree we can like slide down stuff, but then if it gets too much, if the slide is too far, there is no sliding. That's just rock. Hey, this used to be a boat. So now we've touched the butt and we're on the butt. That looks pokey.
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
I didn't like the sounds. Wind whistling kind of gives me goosebumps and makes me mildly uncomfortable. This game is going to turn into Outlast. Please no. Hey, a candle. Well, I don't know. I'm actually a little bit suspicious. Candles don't just go off on their own. So somebody had to be here. Sure, yeah. I think we were supposed to go through that. I just didn't expect it to be so fast.
Donnelly did not pass through the caves. From here on in, his guidance, unreliable as it is gone from me. I understand now that it is between the two of us, and whatever correspondence can be drawn from the wet rocks.
Oh gosh, I don't like all of the pointing down things. They hurt my eyes. That's where we came from. We're cave explorers now. Insert Indiana Jones quote. Wait, what are these? I thought they were jellyfish for a second. I actually thought that these and these were the same thing, because these we have on our rocks. But if they were the same thing, I was gonna say never mind. We don't have those weird little sea mushrooms. Why do I feel like I'm so high? I feel like I got taller suddenly. Let's go left.
It was as if someone
Candles.
had taken the car and shaken it like a cocktail.
There are more
The
candles.
glove compartment had been opened and emptied with the ashtrays in the boot. It made for a crumpled museum, a shattered exhibition.
Indiana Jones, and all you thought about was the Recess theme song? I like it. Excellent choice. Okay, can we just talk about how someone came in here and they had to like move around awkwardly between these little spikes? Supposed to go. Never mind, apparently it's really easy. Talking about the car when we died. Wait, we died in. Oh, right, we did die in a car. I did not realize that this pathway was here. We went through. Oh, I see. So we're crawling right now because this is very low. Stalagmite. Gosh, I would suck at walking here because I would accidentally walk into these things and like stab my head. Ooh, water. Whee. Wait, now where do I go? You're not supposed to touch them because the oil on your hand stops them from growing? Really? Well, why do I want this to grow? Look at this. Vicious. Pointy boys. Okay, so then do I just leave? Because we went there, and now I guess I'll go backwards. Ooh, a waterfall. Was this here before? Water slide! Whee! Under the sea. Cool. It really doesn't seem like it's deep enough for us to safely jump from that height, but hey, okay. Waterfall. Oh, is it turning into ice? I can't tell if this is like ice or what. I like to imagine us just casually walking on the underwater floor. Well, I can't go this way, so we gotta go this way. Gosh, our feet must be... Oh wait, we just jumped into a small lake. Yes, we probably... All of us probably quite wet. I was gonna say, our shoes must be so wet. Don't fall in, probably. Imagine, like, thinking, you know what, I'm gonna walk around this cave of doom. Hey, look. Hey, that's where we were a second ago. And then we jumped down, and then we went through there, and then we walked up and through there, and now we're over here. Somehow somebody managed to do that as well, and their lighter slash matches are dry. I don't want to find the people who place the candles. I'm scared. Are we gonna have another ghost doll run and headbutt the cave? We are crawling so fast.
If the caves are my guts, this must be the place where the stones are first formed. The bacteria phosphoresce and rise, singing through the tunnels. Everything here is bound by the rise and fall, like a tide. Perhaps the whole island is actually underwater.
What? No doors to keep us safe in this game. Maybe the whole island is underwater. Ooh, crystals, pretty. Oh, look at them all. If we touch it with our hands, it'll stop growing, Koopa. Is that what you want? Death? Hey, look, I don't have to move. It'll just push us through. Oh, we're not in the river anymore. Get back in. Ha! walking simulator? I don't think so. This is a swimming simulator now. Or drifting, I guess. I think it's cool that they did this though. Watch, we're gonna get too deep and I'm gonna drown. My aunt used to live in Alberta, and they've got a lot of kind of like slow current rivers like this, and so they have it set up so that you can kind of like have a tube or like one of those like little floaty boats, and you can just like float down the river, and it's so comfy. Kind of like this. Except one time we were like, oh look, a beaver, because the beaver was I can't go any further because the beaver was on the shoreline and then it jumped in the water. It jumped in the water and everybody else was like inside a boat or tube, and I was the only one who was like, psh, I don't need a tube. Oh great, how do I get back out? Dang it. It was no longer a good idea. And so I've never been in the water with a beaver before, so it freaked me out and I got scared and thought that it was gonna try and grab my leg. I've made a mistake. I have regrets. This is no longer a faster way of doing this. Now I'm walking against the current. Okay, there we go. Are beavers not scared of humans? I'm gonna be honest, I don't actually ever really try to approach a beaver. I can't imagine it would not be super, like, I imagine it would be like a little like afraid, but I don't know how defensive they are. My parents always told us to leave them alone, so. Oh wow, I can actually keep going. No, I can't. No, I can't. Go back, go back. No! Are you serious? For heck. Just heck. Now it's no longer cool that they did this. Like, I've seen beavers on land before. And it's, yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty confident that I can outrun a beaver. But I know beavers are good swimmers. And they've got those like webbed hands and like a tail. So I think I was also pretty young. I wonder if I can even get across without the tide or tide current pulling me. I can. I am struggling. There we go. Is that a challenge? Grannybine versus beaver. Beaver tails, though, are so tasty, but not like beaver tails, but like the bred beaver tails. If this goes nowhere as well. It does. It goes nowhere. Well, what the heck? Where am I supposed to go? I think beaver tails are a pretty popular like Canadian kind of thing. We also have like bannock and fried bread. I love fried bread so much. Oh, I missed this. I see, okay. And the nice thing about like, I actually don't totally know how to make beaver tails. I know how to make fried bread, and fried bread can either be a sweet thing or a savory thing. And one day, I'm gonna have it as my cheat meal. I keep having all these ideas for what I want for cheat meals, but I had a month, the 1 month that I did a cheat meal, it was followed by like 2 other cheat meals, and so now I feel like it's a dangerous game to play. Can I go up here? No. Well, I'm glad we didn't fall down this spiky tube. Jeez.
This cannot be the shaft they threw the goats into.
Jeez.
It cannot be the landfill where the parts of your life that would not burn ended up. It cannot be the chimney that delivered you to the skies. It cannot be the place where you rained back down again to fertilize the soil and make small flowers in the rocks.
How do I get out? Oh no. I have no idea how I got out, but okay. Fried bread looks kind of like a Hungarian dish. Ooh. Depending on what area of BC you're in, fried bread is traditional or bannock. I'm not a huge fan. Behold. Didicus versus. Oh, golly. Bannock is less traditionally made where I'm from. Fried bread is very, very common. Away from being I don't know. And shall fungus reap. I don't know what this says. I really hope you're not supposed to be able to read it. Oh, the Hungarian dish is pretty much the same as fried bread, but with specific topping. Ooh. Some people have it with like jam. Some people like treat it like it's actual like bread, and they'll have like peanut butter and jam. Some people will like, I love corn syrup. Some people will treat it like a pancake, and they'll put like just regular syrup or maple syrup or they're pokey and it scares me. Or you could put like meat. Ooh, Nutella. Yes. Nutella would be so good. What are the specific toppings that you would put on for the Hungarian dish? Yo, did you see that? There was a person there. Ah, I have to fall in. What? Oh, hey. Is this a car accident where we died? I wonder what happened. So they're writing letters to somebody. Maybe the person who is writing letters right now to Esther is the person who killed her in the car crash, and they're, you know, feeling really guilty, and then they seclude themselves on this island. I don't know. They have cream cheese and cheddar cheese on it. Ooh. I'm gonna do some Googling later. Wait, hold on. I'm just gonna open that in a tab right now so that I can experience. Oh, hey, look, I went far enough to open a new area. Oh, wow, that looks so tasty. Ah, I need it. It looks so beautiful. Yeah, maybe it is them that have been placing the candles. Wait, what? How did we get out? I'm so confused how this could have possibly led to... I guess it was going up. I'm not gonna go back down. I'm not sure why you would leave a bunch of candles, though.
Sanford Junction, headlights in your retinas. Donnelly drove a grey hatchback without a bottom. All the creatures of the tarmac rose to sing to him. All manner of symbols crudely scrawled across the cliff face of my unrest. My life reduced to an electrical diagram. All my gulls have taken flight. They will no longer roost on these outcrops. The lure of the moon over the Sanford Junction is too strong.
And they're still lit in a super wet cave, exactly. Hey, these ones have pictures.
I returned home with a pocket full of stolen ash. Half of it fell out of my coat and vanished into the car's upholstery. But the rest I carefully stowed away in a box I kept in a drawer by the side of my bed. It was never intended as a meaningful act, but over the years it became a kind of talisman. I'd sit still, quite still for hours, just holding the diminishing powder in my palm and noting its smoothness. In time, we will all be worn down into granules, washed into the sea and dispersed.
So, when I say this, I'm not saying this to criticize this game, but this game has a lot of talking, and I feel like I don't quite grasp it as well as I grasped the game that we played yesterday, despite it having no words. What is this? Is this a picture of a can? Oh, this is a person. I have guessed things so far. I actually thought that we were Esther when I initially started playing. But I'm pretty sure we're dead. There are a lot of car pieces around here.
There were chemical stains on the tarmac, the leak of air conditioning, brake fluid and petrol. He kept sniffing at his fingers as he sat by the roadside, waiting as if he couldn't quite understand or recognize their smell. He said he'd been traveling back from a sales conference in Exeter. He'd stopped for farewell drinks earlier, but had kept a careful eye on his intake. You could hear the sirens above the idling traffic.
I feel like this game isn't trying to be all that straightforward with the story. I mean, I'm hoping that it'll come together and we'll be like, oh, all right. From heaven shone, I'm gonna assume it says above, around him. Oh. I mean, I get not wanting to be straightforward, but I'm actually not sure who all of the people are. Like, I don't know who Donnelly is and how they fit into the story. It just feels so out of left field that I'm actually not even remembering some of the information. No thank you. No thank you. Stop singing.
From here, I can see my armada. I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
Wow. Killing us once wasn't enough. No, I'm kidding. On a sudden, a light from heaven shone around him, and he fell to the ground. Jeez. Oh. I didn't think. Deep. Not gonna bring. Hello?
Come back.
Oh, this just brings us around back this way. Can I, like, walk across the rocks? No. Yes. Nice. Didn't have to go around. Now we have to walk all the way back so that we can go over here. So, why are there so many scratch marks on that? Oh, I see. These probably used to be posts. Wait, was I supposed to go up there? Dang it. I hope not, because I'm already all the way back here. Heck. I guess we'll find out. That's where we came out the first time. Sorry. This seems safe to go across. Never mind. Ooh, look at the stars. What? Are you serious? Dang it, I was supposed to go all the way that way. What a waste. You wasted my time. Do you think if I just jump into the water, I'll just come back closer to where I need to be?
Come back.
No. Dang it. Baby, come back. I don't want to go the long way. Let's cut through. Wait, is that the one I tried to go down? No, it's not. This one has a candle. Never mind, it just has a candle. I wish I could run. Run. Both of my buttons on my mouse will make it go closer. Yeah. Sorry. It only recently occurred to me that it's been getting darker. I don't like it. We better actually have to go over here. If I turned around and came all this way for nothing, I'm gonna cry. Hello, darkness. Oh, our old friend. My old friend. There it is. There it is. hey. That looks kind of like a line. Sounds kind of windy and chilly in the game, and it's kind of making me a little chilly. Man of the Rocks. That is the achievement I just got.
A sound of torn metal, teeth running over the edge of the rocks, a moon that casts a signal as I lay pinned beside you, the ticking of the cooling engine, and the calling from a great height, or my mind as a bypass.
Were they in the car with us? Did both of us come out of the car?
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a creasing time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
And as he was proceeding... No, that's not what it says. Proceeding? What? Something, something journey. Of his journey. We're getting closer and closer to the flashing red light. We used to be on the other side of it. And he...
If only Donnelly had experienced this, he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
Whisper, dab, the, eat, nor. I don't actually know what it says. Ooh, the sound of the wind. I am very goosebumpy. Dab on the haters. The smoke?
There are headlights reflected in these retinas. Too long in the tunnels of my island without a bottom. The sea creatures have risen to the surface, but the gulls are not here to carry them back to their nests. I've become fixed, open and staring, an eye turned on itself. I've become an infected leg whose tracking lines form a perfect map of the junctions of the M5. I will take the exit at mid-thigh and plummet to my Esther.
What a pretty view, though. Like, whoever lived here had such a good view. It's a big moon. Danger. Why does it say unauthorized? Unauthorized personnel keep out. Unauthorized.
Blind with panic, deaf with the roar of the caged traffic, heart stopped on the road to Damascus, Paul sat at the roadside hunched up like a gull, like a bloody gull. As useless and as doomed as a syphilitic cartographer, a dying goat herd, an infected leg, a kidney stone, blocking the traffic bound for Sanford and Exeter. He was not drunk, Esther. He was not drunk at all. All his roads and his tunnels and his paths led inevitably to this moment of impact. This is not a recorded natural condition. He should not be sat there with his chemicals and his circuit diagrams. He should not be sat there at all.
I can't read this, it's too high. Came into. Damascus. Oh, I guess it would make sense. Damascus came into something.
I will send news to each and every star. Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We have always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.
We better be a seagull or something. This is how this game is gonna end. Okay. Yeah, it's supposed to only be like an hour and a half. Hour and a half game. So then, is the person who wrote this like Esther's husband? think later I'm gonna need to look up more about what this game is about.
Come back.
I think we beat it. Yes, we did. We got an achievement called Paul. So, oh, Paul. It's so hard to keep track of the names because I thought the dude that I mixed up at the time that the two dudes he mentioned existed. I don't know. I'm so confused. There's no music for this. It's just silent. Shit, silence. That's exciting. Let's see. Yeah. Pardon me. Okay. There is a Dear Esther wiki. Alright, wiki. Okay. So the player progresses through the plot of Dear Esther via a series of voiced over letter fragments to a woman named Esther. Wait, what? It is not directly specified who the narrator is, but it is generally believed that it is Esther's husband. And that she is dead, killed in an automobile accident. The monologue fragments are triggered as a player reaches certain locations in the game. Each one is either semi-random or specific to the area the player is exploring. You can take up to 6 to 8 full runs in order to have seen every object or event at least once. Okay, so Jacobson is an 18th century shepherd and a hermit. Donnelly, who charted the island some time ago in the past. Oh, and Donnelly. Later in the game, the readings begin to allude to a story of Paul on the road to Damascus, which is also the subject of some of the painted text on the cliff walls.